Hi guys, welcome back to another vlog. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name is Lisa and I'm a freelancer in Cornwall, and if you're not new here, welcome back to the channel. In this week's vlog we have one goal and one goal only, and that is to get myself back into a routine after a really rubbish week, if I'm being quite honest with you. If you watched my last video, you will have seen that vlog ended with me having a bit of a neck pain, kind of like shooting from my neck down through to my shoulder. If I'm being totally honest, I have just felt zero motivation to do the things that I normally love doing, running, getting outside, like socializing. I've just been in a real rut. I do think it was to do with stress, and my neck pain and the trapped nerve up here was like the final straw. Thankfully, as of yesterday, I finally started to feel better, and this morning I've woken up and the pain has completely gone, like touch wood. I know that you can't really always control your health, but there are things that we can control. So in this week's vlog, I am definitely getting back to my normal self. I want to get back to feeling positive, having loads of energy, like feeling motivated, and also prioritizing my health and well-being, including movement and exercise, which is something I have neglected. I love being busy and I love working on lots of projects at the same time and being creative, but unfortunately a lot of my job and a lot of my creativity is just kind of sat in one spot. So I'm really working out like a routine of how to basically get back into the groove of things. I have actually got this book which I've already read once before. We've dug it out and we're going to read it again. It's called Atomic Habits. It's incredible. If you haven't read it already, get on it because it's such a good book. If you're feeling in a rut too, I completely understand where you're coming from. I really struggle with motivation, especially with exercise, and it's a bit of a love-hate relationship. I got into running about a year ago and that transformed kind of my feelings around exercise, because I finally found something that I actually did enjoy doing, even though I don't really like enjoy it at the time because it's very hard and quite painful. But I love the progress that I see when I go out on each run. And I think that has kind of like healed my relationship a little bit with exercise. But sometimes I do fall into the old thinking traps of like, oh, I've missed a day, like I've ruined everything, I've ruined the week. Like I'm a very all or nothing person. And sometimes I think that can be a blessing, and other times I think it can definitely be a curse. So that's the plan for this week's vlog. Hopefully we can get some motivation back. It's a new month, a new season, and I'm feeling very positive. It's currently about 9 AM on a Saturday morning, and the plan today is to go to the Eden Project. If you're from Cornwall, you'll 100% know this place. If you're not from Cornwall, you probably still would have heard of it because it's one of our biggest attractions. It's probably just a bit easier if I actually show you the Eden Project rather than trying to explain what it is, because it's such a unique concept. I am just going to finish getting ready, have some breakfast, and then my slot that I've booked for the Eden Project is at 10:30. It's probably about a 30 to 35 minute drive from my house here, so we'll head out on the road, and when we get there I'll explain a little bit more about why I'm going there today. As always, thanks for clicking on this video. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you haven't yet, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you when we're at the Eden Project. I kid you not, my Apple Maps is definitely set up to find the route that will give Lisa the most anxiety, because there is no way to justify the way my sat-nav just took me to the Eden Project. It took me down the smallest, narrowest country lane. I could barely fit my car through this road, right? But it's a two-way system. On the way home, I'm gonna have to find a different way. I'm not doing that again, I'm just not. Anyway, we've made it here to the Eden Project. I'm really excited because they've got the Wildlife Photographer of the Year exhibition here, and I caught this a few years ago in Copenhagen on a random unplanned visit to a museum. It's basically the best 100 photos of wildlife and the natural world, and they're displayed in, yeah, like an exhibition, like an art exhibition. I remember going to see it in Copenhagen and I was blown away. I love photography anyway. We walked around in that gallery and spent honestly like hours just like looking at each photo, because every photo just had such a story to tell. Some of them were so moving as well. There was a lot on like capturing climate change and things like that. I saw that the Eden Project had the Wildlife Photographer of the Year exhibition. I was like, oh, that's so cool, like I wish I could go. And then I thought to myself, why can't I go? Like that's right on my doorstep. It's something fun to do. And I can also vlog a little bit of the Eden Project for any of you guys that haven't been before. It's so cool. I mean, you've got like the rainforest biome, the Mediterranean biome. They do a lot of work for like conservation and stuff like that. I think all the money they get from the tickets goes back into like this research and things like that they do really great things. I also got a locals pass, so if you do live in Cornwall or Devon, I believe, all you have to do is like show some ID with your address and you basically get like 35% off. So it went from being, I think entry for an adult is like £38, which is really expensive, but I would say it's worth it if you've never been before. And I ended up paying £24, so it's an amazing saving. And I've got the pass for the whole year now, so I can come back, which I will likely come back because I have a lot of friends with kids and I think this is quite a child-friendly, family-friendly attraction. So I'm sure we can come back with them as well and I'll make the most of it. I'm going to stop yapping now and get in there, and I'll try and vlog as much as I can. Okay, we started here and now we're working our way up and we're going backwards basically, but I think I know where I'm going now. This is my new desk setup and I'm so happy with it. If you guys watched my last video, you'll know that I had the most awful pinched nerve / neck pain from basically doing like really long hours in this space. I've invested in some bits and bobs to basically make it more ergonomic, which basically means more friendly for your spine and your body when you're sat down for long periods of time. This fits in quite well with the theme of this vlog, I feel, because this is all about getting back to healthy habits, and I feel like there's nothing more healthier than having a workspace that's set up so you're not straining. I bought this stand which is totally adjustable, so you can make it go as high or as low as you need. And then I've bought a wireless keyboard because then I don't have to be like reaching over to this because this would be too high up. And then I also got a little wireless mouse, which is a bit of an adjustment, I won't lie, because as a trackpad girly who has always loved just working on my laptop, I probably haven't used a mouse since 2015 maybe, and it's been a bit of an adjustment, but I'm getting used to it. And then I got this really cute little mouse mat with cats on it because if you know me, you know I love cats, especially black cats. I was a bit worried that it was going to look a bit ugly and I didn't really want to ruin the minimalistic kind of vibe that I had going on my desk, but actually it all looks really nice and I think it just makes me feel a lot better when I'm sitting and working. It's that saying where if you don't listen to your body, eventually it will make you listen, and that's what happened to me last week. It was just like, okay, enough's enough, like we're gonna make you listen. Outside of work, I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing at least 30 minutes of exercise a day. Again, it's just taking it back to basics really, but yesterday I went for a walk in the morning. The sun was shining when I woke up and I knew it was going to be a bit rainy and hit and miss for the rest of the day, so I actually just ended up going to the coastal path, doing a lovely walk around there, and then I headed back to SeaSpace and did an hour of work and then came back home, and it just broke the day up really nicely and started it on kind of a bit of a high, especially on a Monday. It's quite nice to start a Monday by being by the sea and going for a walk, and I had a really great day yesterday. Today I've booked a Pilates class for 7 p.m. again at SeaSpace because that's where my membership is, so we'll do the exercise side of the day later. I've not actually tried their Pilates before, so I'm quite excited to see what that's going to be like because I used to do Pilates in a different area of Newquay, but when I joined SeaSpace's gym and they have the classes there, it didn't really make sense for me to be paying in two different places. And then I've made sure I've like planned different things to do throughout the week. On Sunday I did another 5k, which I forgot to vlog. It was a really good one. I found a new spot for running, so I'm thinking about maybe going there again tomorrow morning, and I'll try and remember to bring my camera and vlog that one because yeah, it was a really good route just around like a boating lake in Newquay that I didn't kind of realise was there. I'm feeling really positive and I just want September to be the month that I feel like I get my hands back on the steering wheel, if that makes sense. I mean, summer was amazing, don't get me wrong, I had the best summer, lots of fun plans, lots of crazy work commitments that were amazing, but yeah, I'm looking forward to like a slightly slower pace September and getting back into like routines and having healthier habits. So that's the MO for this week. Also, it's such a rainy day today and this is the first day that I am wearing a jumper and I'm not mad about it. I feel like I'm ready for autumn and I'm ready for the cozy season. Ask me again in a month. Ask me again in a month, especially when the sun sets way earlier and we're like plunged into darkness. I feel like that's not going to be as great, but I don't know. After such an incredible summer of sunshine, warmth, heat, I am quite surprised at how not mad I am about like feeling cold. I'm also very excited about Bake Off. That started last week and it's on again tonight. I just love Bake Off so much, and there's just something really wholesome about it that yeah, you just can't beat. Anyway, I've got a meeting in 10 minutes, so I'm gonna make a quick cup of tea, do my meeting, and then we can catch up again later today. Just checking in really quickly. It is almost 6:30, so I need to leave for Pilates. Just going to shove my hair up and grab some water and my mat and then drive over to SeaSpace, get Pilates done. I'm not going to lie, if I hadn't have booked it ahead of time yesterday, I wouldn't be going today because it is so grim outside. It's been so rainy and grey and just one of those like really cold, miserable days that if I had woken up this morning having not booked Pilates tonight, I would be like, no chance am I leaving the house today. Like it's an indoor day. So I'm very glad and thankful to yesterday's version of me for booking this class because I know I'm going to feel better after. Also, I've kind of been neglecting like my strength and my I guess core fitness and building muscle and that kind of thing because I love running, but you do need to do other bits to like support your running, and I know that, but I'm so bad at doing the strength training or like the core workouts because I don't find them as fun. I actually don't mind Pilates and I really, really like yoga, but yeah, there's nothing beats for me like putting my headphones in and like just going for a run. And the thought of like going to the gym and lifting weights kind of fills me with dread a lot, but I also know that I really need to be doing it, and by avoiding it, I'm not helping myself. So yeah, we have booked a few more classes in this week that will hopefully kind of give that bit of balance. But yeah, I better head because I'm going to be late. Good morning. It is 6:30 a.m. on Wednesday. Is it Wednesday today? Yes, it is Wednesday today. And I'm just making a quick tea and having some toast. Gonna let that settle, have a stretch, and then we're going out on a run because I'm deadly serious about this week being the week I get my love back for fitness and running. I had Pilates last night, which was really good. It was quite a gentle one. I think my previous class I used to go to was way too advanced. I really struggled to keep up and I would always wake up in the morning in like full head to toe agony. So when I woke up this morning with like a normal amount of like, oh, I worked out last night, but I didn't also push myself, kind of happy medium, it was good. I think I'll probably try and do maybe a few Pilates classes like at home as well and see if I can like try a few different things because that almost felt, I don't want to say it felt too easy because I feel like I'll be shooting myself in the foot there, but it did feel a little bit on the easy side yesterday. So I think we don't want to go to the really difficult class over here, but we also don't want to be too like easy over here. So I think, yeah, I'll give it another go, we'll see. Perhaps I could try some of the more like advanced stuff at the class and then like just modify what she's doing. Anyway, I'm looking forward to my run today. I feel like I've really got my mojo back for running now and there's no more excuses because I found not one, not two, but 3 really good run routes now in Newquay that I can get to fairly quickly. So I feel like with that, that's half the job and half the battle done, and that's something that I've been really struggling with since I moved here, was finding some good run spots that are like, you know, your staples, the ones you just go on without even thinking, like autopilot, trainers on, get the run done. Kind of like this morning, I need to get this run done because I need to be back here by 10 for meetings. And then at the weekends, when I've got more time, I can be going off and doing, you know, different routes and more like fun, I guess, days out that incorporate a run. You just sometimes in the weekdays, especially when I'm working, I need just ease, just making things easy, not having like obstacles in place, which is something that's mentioned a lot in the book that I'm reading, Atomic Habits. It's like, don't make a habit impossible. If you want to do something and make the habit manageable, like don't put barriers in place. Have your running kit out ready for you in the morning. Like I had mine all folded up. I knew what I was wearing because I know in the mornings I'm a tired girly unless I've had a cup of tea, and I just need to like know that I don't need to even think about, oh wait, what's the weather doing? Shall I wear this pair of leggings? I don't know. And I had my running vest out, my water bottle out, my AirPods charged, like just being, I guess, organised. Then I woke up in the morning and I was like, oh, I'm really tired, looked across, saw my kit there, remembered my intention that I'd set the day before and was like, okay, we're getting up, we're going for this run. Even if also you get up for the run and it's like you get on the run and you do a little bit and then you're like, I just can't, or like for whatever reason your body's not feeling it, good on you for still like getting out, because that's half of I'd say that's the majority of the battle. It's not really the run itself, but even if you're then out and you've had some fresh air and you've walked and you've moved, like that's a win to me. So yeah, that's how I'm viewing it. I make this tea have some quick toast, and then we'll head out. I fear it could be a rainy one this morning, but that's okay. We can run in the rain. It's not going to kill us. Did it! 5k in the bag. That was a really good run. Sometimes when you look outside and it's raining and it's all bleak outside, you think, oh, like, I don't really want to go for this run. But actually, sometimes the rain is the best thing. It's 9:30 now. I'm gonna have a really quick shower, make myself look a little bit more presentable, and then I've got a call at 10:30. So yeah, I need to crack on really now. That's today's workout ticked, and we can get on with the rest of the day. Oh my goodness, look what arrived in the post. This amazing picnic hamper box thing from a company called, oh, I forgot what they're called now, Piglet's Pantry? Yeah, Piglet's Pantry, which was so kindly sent to me from one of my friends who lives in New Zealand. She sent me a voucher for my 30th birthday that I could redeem, and it was expiring this month, so I just panicked and ordered it, and I didn't really know what to expect, but I did not expect this. So much food. There's yeah, like little mini cakes here, there's scones in that bag, jam and cream, there's some pots of cream underneath those, little Scotch eggs, sausage rolls. As if that's not enough, then also this little box arrived too with it, called letterbox cookies. I just love the little branding here as well, it's so cute. And yeah, we've got some cookies. Oh my god, they look so good. They look so good. They've got like funfetti ones here, or like rainbow sprinkles. I don't know if funfetti is a very American way of saying that. I think this is double chocolate chip, and then this looks like some kind of caramel goodness. Oh my goodness me. I am going to smash through these. Luckily, I am going to see my parents this weekend, so I think I'll be taking a few treats with me. It's Friday today, and I'm just wrapping up for the week. I've had a manic week actually, very busy, but really productive. And I'm really pleased with myself because I have stuck to what I intended to do at the beginning of the week, which is make sure that I'm moving my body and incorporating some kind of exercise back into my routine, and I've done something every day this week and I feel amazing for it. Yesterday I put myself outside my comfort zone slightly and tried a new class at my gym as well, which was like a circuits class, and we did 45 seconds each station. It was a 45-minute class, and it was only me and one other girl that was there, so it was really good because we could kind of get the attention of the trainer. So that was good. Then all this food arrived. It's all about balance. It's all about balance. I have a really good friend's wedding tomorrow, which is very exciting. And then I'm going over to my parents' house to basically play with the kitten, because I don't think I've actually told you guys on my YouTube channel, but my parents got a new kitten a couple of weeks ago, and I actually drove up with my mum to pick up this kitten. And she is so cute. She's called Pumpkin. I'll enter a picture in here so you can see. She's adorable, and I want to spend loads of time with this kitten because they grow so quickly. Like cats, if you're a cat lover, you know that, or even like dogs do, they're like puppies. I feel like you blink and then they're a full-grown dog or cat. And yeah, I just really want to like soak up all the little kitten cuddles. And I've got nothing else to do on Sunday, so I'll take my laptop with me because I need to prep a few bits and bobs, because I'm also going on holiday in a week's time, which I will tell you guys about. I'm going to make a cup of tea and maybe I'll sit down and tell you exactly where I'm going, because it's quite exciting. I'm really looking forward to it, and basically this week and next week is just prepping my business to make sure that everything's going to be okay and everything's going to go out on time when I'm away, which is quite a lot to deal with, because when you're self-employed, if you don't have a team, if you're just like a one-man band like I am, you don't really have anyone else to fall back on or ask to help. And just, yeah, getting to grips with like making sure that everything is on track. But actually I was looking at the diary next week thinking, okay, we're just going to resign ourselves to the fact that next week's going to be hell. But actually it's kind of looking okay. Like I feel like I've over prepared, which you can never over prepare because there's always going to be something, a curveball or something that I'm not expecting coming around the corner. But as it stands, I really don't want to say it, touch wood, we are looking good. We're looking good for a week off and I'm so excited. Anyway, I'm going to make a cup of tea and then I'll sit down and tell you exactly where I'm going and what the plan is for a week's time. Made my tea, just had one of those cookies as well, 10 out of 10, would recommend to a friend. So as I mentioned, I have booked a holiday and I'm going to be going on a solo trip to Seville in Spain, which I'm really excited for. If any of you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you will know that I went on my first ever solo trip last summer. I did 6 weeks of backpacking and interrailing around Europe, and it was the first time ever that I'd been on holiday alone, that I'd been out of the country for that length of time, the first time I backpacked, the first time I'd ever stayed in a hostel, and I absolutely loved it. I really just felt the fear and did it anyway, and it was probably one of the most life-changing trips or things I've done in my life so far, because there's something about like trusting yourself and doing things alone that instills a new sense of confidence. And it's something that I kind of dabbled with a little bit prior to the solo trip. I've always been someone who does enjoy their own company. It's not that I'm antisocial. I'm definitely a sociable person, and I love spending time with my friends and family and meeting new people and putting myself out there. And you know, that's kind of why I did enjoy traveling so much. But I am also someone that is so comfortable with their own space and their own company. I've lived on my own before and really enjoyed that. I've also never really been bothered about like eating in a restaurant alone, or if I've got a day to myself, I will go out and make the most of it rather than just being like, oh, I've got no one to hang out with, so I can't really do anything with the day. And I don't rely on other people to do the things that I want to do, basically. So I kind of knew in that sense that I would really enjoy solo traveling, but I think it was the fear of being away from home and people that you know for a decent amount of time, so nearly 2 months, that was making me, I guess, slightly nervous. And then also navigating different countries, different language barriers. So yeah, last summer I actually took the leap and quit my full-time job in London. I'd saved enough money to basically take 6 months off. I did a month back in Cornwall and then I went to California for 3 months, although I was staying with family out there, so that wasn't as much of a solo trip, but still I flew out there by myself. And because I was having time off work and kind of secretly building my business behind the scenes, there were times where I'd have elements of solo travel in that trip because my family who lived there still had to go to work and still had to live their normal lives. So there were days where, you know, when they were at work, I would go and explore new areas. I was really into my running at that point as well. So yeah, I definitely thrived with solo travel. And this year has been very much focused on getting my business off the ground. So there hasn't been that much opportunity to get on a plane and go traveling. I did want to squeeze in something before the end of the year, so that's why I've booked a trip to Seville, and it's going to be a little bit similar to my Europe trip, but just a lot shorter in time. I'm going to be flying from Newquay Airport, which is literally a 15-minute drive from my house, which is so handy. I'm going to be flying from Newquay to Faro in Portugal. Then I'm going to spend 1 night there in a hostel, and then the next day explore Faro in the morning, and then I'm getting a bus to Seville in Spain, which is 2.5 hours. It goes across the border, and then I'm gonna spend 5 nights in Seville. I'm very excited. I haven't been there before. I have flown into Faro in Portugal quite a few times, but there's always been another destination that we've been going to after that, so I haven't actually seen or explored Faro itself. I don't know if there's a huge amount to do there, if I'm honest, but I did want to allow myself 1 day just to check it out. And then Seville, I've never been to either. I've not actually travelled much of Spain at all. I've been to Malaga once, but it was on a hen do, and I'll be honest, we didn't really see much of Spain or experience any of the culture or do any of the touristy stuff because it was very much just a party holiday for a hen do. Still really nice though. Aside from that, I've not really done any of the Spanish cities. I was really toying between Barcelona and Seville, but something just made me pick Seville. I think, to be honest, I really wanted to have the novelty of flying from Newquay Airport, which is so close to my house, and just like make the most of that, like living near an airport. So it was easier to fly to Faro because that's one of the international flights that they offer, and then do the bus to Seville, which was only 2.5 hours. I'm going to be staying in hostels for the whole week, and I'm really looking forward to it. But this was actually something I was most petrified about when I went to Europe last summer for my first ever solo trip. I feel like I could navigate the new places, I could navigate being alone, I could navigate flights, trains, and the interrailing side of things. But the first day that I arrived at a hostel where I was sharing and there were bunk beds, and it was just like, am I going to sleep in this room with 5 other strangers? This is crazy. And I just had to really put myself out of my comfort zone. And you know what? It was so fine. I must have stayed in probably 10 to 12 different hostels over those 6 weeks. I visited 8 different countries in those 6 weeks, and some of those countries I went to multiple different cities. So it was likely more around 12 to 15 hostels, I would say. I never had any issues. The worst thing I had, I think, was like someone snoring, and then you just take earplugs. But everyone that you meet when you travel, you have to remember, is in the same boat. And also a lot of these hostels have security, or at least they have like a reception desk or a point of call that someone's in charge. It's not like just a bit of a free-for-all. I used the app Hostelworld to book all of my hostels, and I guess I did have a slight like minimum requirement level of like how it was rated, because there are so many different types of hostels. And for me as a 29-year-old at the time, I was not looking to go and have a party holiday or just go traveling just to get drunk every night. I wanted to go and explore the countries. So I was looking for hostels that fit that kind of vibe, and you can definitely filter through and have a look, and you can quickly see through reviews and stuff. There are certain hostels that are like more sociable than others. There are certain ones that are definitely branded as a party hostel, and they maybe have like happy hour bars and things like that. And I would tend to maybe steer slightly clear of those and maybe spend like an extra €5 a night for a slightly nicer hostel. But it was still, yeah, bunk beds, sharing with strangers, and I personally found that I just didn't have any issues whatsoever. I met some really lovely people. So again, I'm looking forward to staying in a hostel this time round and re-experiencing that, I think. And it's funny now because even sat here talking to you guys about this, I do feel a bit nervous still about the hostel thing. That's the only thing. Like, if I booked a hotel or I was going on an all-inclusive, I'd be like, oh, I'm so excited. Like, there wouldn't be a single thing in my mind. Whereas like sat here now, I am like, oh, it is going to be out of my comfort zone again, because I feel like when we push ourselves outside of our comfort zone, it's great. And then you get back into your routine and you get back into the, like, I guess, life of, you know, work, and you've got your home to come home to, and then to like re-push myself back outside of those boundaries and go back to sharing with potential strangers it still makes me a little bit nervous, but I'm not as nervous as the time I was before, because the time before I was going into the absolute unknown, whereas now I know exactly what to expect. I know all the little hacks as well for hostels. I know what to bring, and just like understanding the way hostels work. And on that note, I'm going to head back to my desk now. We're not on holiday yet. There's still a lot to get done.
Good morning, guys. I come to you fresh-faced from Sunday morning, feeling very hungover. However, I will preface that I did not drink any alcohol last night. I have actually not drank any alcohol in 2025. So why am I hungover? I went to a wedding yesterday and it was amazing, such a beautiful day. The rain even stopped by some miracle. It's back again now. So yeah, just a fantastic day, good vibes all round. But I chose not to drink alcohol, And why am I being punished now? Like, I have honestly woken up feeling the most hungover I have felt since I've stopped drinking. I'm like, did I drink? Like, did I accidentally pick up a drink? There's no way. Like, I drove home, I was absolutely fine. I've woken up today, I have a throbbing headache. I am so exhausted, I feel a bit sick. Like, what is this? It does beg the question, how much of a hangover is to do with the alcohol and how much is it to do with like mental stimulation and like just sleep deprivation. Although I didn't even get home that late. I got home at like 11:30. I was in bed before midnight and I woke up about 7:30 and I was like, oh my god. I woke up with that feeling you get when you're hungover where your eyes open and you're like, oh, no, I'm in trouble today. I am in trouble today. My voice is going, although I can definitely attest for the fact that was because I was belting out the tunes and on the dance floor for the majority of the evening. So clearly not drinking doesn't have an effect on my ability to go hard at a wedding. But yeah, not feeling the best, not feeling great. But I am heading over to my parents' house today. We are driving to the Lizard. The weather is shocking today and there are yellow weather warnings in place for wind. So we shall see how we go.
I'm determined not to let a hangover ruin my Sunday though. That's kind of the whole point of not drinking, is that I don't ruin the weekends or have days that are write-offs for myself. I will definitely introduce you guys to the newest addition to our family, Pumpkin the kitten. Very excited to show you her. She is so cute. And Mum says she's been on top form this week and is just like a bit of a lunatic running around. So I think that will distract me from my like foggy brain, headache, like whatever this hangover vibe that I'm feeling today is. Strap in for some cute kitten content coming very shortly. Few days later, and as you can see, I've had a bit of a hair transformation. As I mentioned before, I was going to get my colour done in September, and this is what we've gone for. I've gone a little bit darker, but I'm obsessed with this because all of this up here to about here, I would say, is my natural colour, and my hairdresser, who is a magician and deserves some kind of award for just putting up with all of the different transformations that I always seem to want with my hair, has literally blended this so well. She's put some low lights in and just blended it so seamlessly that you can't really tell that this is natural and this is dyed. It all just looks amazing, so I'm so happy about that. And it's also nice and fresh for my trip on Sunday, which is just a few days away now, and I'm getting very excited. Everything is booked. What I need to figure out is anything that I really want to do that I need to book ahead and to pack, and that's about it really. And I probably won't pack until the day I fly because that is just who I am. I always find it's less stressful to pack last minute than it is to pack a few days before, because when you pack a few days before, then inevitably you're going to pack something that you're actually going to need in those few days. So really in my head, I'm like, if possible, especially if I've got an evening flight, I'm packing that day, because then I'm just like, everything that needs to get packed gets packed, and we won't take it out again until we get to the place we're going to. So that's my logic on packing. Anyway, I couldn't sign this vlog off without telling you guys about a massive milestone that I hit in my fitness journey yesterday. And the reason it wasn't vlogged is because it was so unplanned, and quite frankly, I can't believe these words are about to leave my mouth. But yesterday evening, I ran my first ever 12k. I actually cannot believe it, and I am over the moon. So yesterday I was still in the Lizard with my parents, and I had worked from home all day, and it was one of those days, it was Monday, and I just had a lot to get done, and I'm really under a time pressure at the moment because of going on holiday. So I spent the day, just staring at a screen. I didn't really take many screen breaks. I didn't eat very well, like I was just snacking all day. I don't even think I drank like more than half a glass of water all day, which is terrible, and I'm really bad at hydrating. So when I say that I wasn't fueled or prepared for this run, I really wasn't. And when it got to 6:30, I had to drive back to Newquay, and I was like, oh, I should really just get out for a run before I do the drive home. It's always good to just get your trainers on and get out the door, and it doesn't matter what happens on the run, you've gone for a run if you've got those trainers on and gone out, even if you ran for 5 minutes, even if you've run for 2 minutes and then just decided to walk the rest, you've gone on a run. And that's better than telling yourself that you can't be bothered and not going at all. So here I am, like going out the door, like, see you in like 15 minutes, mum. Got to about 3k, and I was like, okay, the endorphins were kicking in. This isn't so bad. So I thought, I'm going to manage 5k, and I'm going to be very pleased with that, because that was not what I thought was going to happen when I stepped out the door. I did not think in a million years I would actually run 5k yesterday. So I got to 5k, which took me to Finance Cove. And then I thought, do you know what? It's weird, like I'm not tired yet, so perhaps I'll try and do 6k, and that would be amazing, because remember, I didn't even want to go on this run. I thought maybe I could manage 2 to 3k at best. So I'm like, okay, sweet, I'm going to try 6k. Haven't run 6k in ages. All my runs for the past, I would say 2 to 3 months, I've never gone past 5k. And we got to 6, and I was like, okay, I'm still fine. What is going on? Like, I shouldn't be fine. I'm dehydrated. I have not fueled properly. But nonetheless, 6k came along, and I was like, I'm fine. Like, let's just see how far I can go till I need to stop. Got home to 8k, and I was like, oh, well, I might as well try for 10. So I carried on, and yeah, you're kind of getting the gist at this point. I just wasn't getting tired. It was the weirdest thing ever. I got to 10k, and I literally was like, I'm in shock. I've ran 10k. Like, this was actually, I was thinking about even doing like a little mini challenge for September, October, where I train for a 10k. And now I've just ran it. And I was like, this is mental. Also, for context, I have ran 10k once before. Only once, and it was a total fluke. And also on that day that I ran 10k previously, it was over 6 months ago, and I got to about 8k, and I was in agony, and I shouldn't have even tried to push for 10k when I did that 6 months ago, because I was definitely pushing my body too far. Like, I was gasping for breath. I looked bright red in the face, and I think when I got home I practically collapsed. This was different though. Last night I hit 10k, I still had fuel in the tank. So I was like, do you know what? We're gonna try and get 12. And to be fair, I hit 11k, and I was like, oof. The knees are hurting, the thighs are hurting. Yeah, we got to 11, and I was like, look, let's just run home now from where I was. It got to the point as well where it started to get dark, and my dad, bless him, rang me because he was like, Lisa's gone out for this run, and she said, oh, I'll see you in like 15 minutes, and it's an hour and 45 minutes later, and it's getting dark, and we live near cliffs. So he was like, just checking you haven't like fallen off a cliff and died. But yeah, I had to stop because it got dark, and obviously I don't really want to be out running in the dark on my own. I got home and I'd ran 12.7k. So actually that's nearly 13k, which is just shy of 8 miles. I'm just like buzzing. I got home and I was so excited to tell my parents that I had done that. And my mum and dad were like, what happened out there? Because you left being like so unmotivated. You didn't even want to go on this run, and now you've just hit a PB. Like, what? Everything I did that day should not have resulted in me running my longest distance ever. But perhaps I am just going to put this down to the changes that I made in the week. And there's probably a little bit more to it than that, but I honestly believe that, like, having had this week where I was like reset, which I started on Monday, and every day this week I have shown up for myself and I have tried new things, I've tried different classes, I've been on runs, and I've held myself accountable. It's almost, I feel like my body was rewarding me, because yeah, what an amazing way to finish on a Sunday evening with a run like that. So yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing with that, and I just wanted to jump on and tell you guys that before I sign this vlog off, because I feel like it's the perfect end to this reboot, reset fitness vlog. If you've made it this far through the video, thank you so much. I really hope you've enjoyed, and if you did enjoy, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I hope you have the best week, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys.